Yo, what's going on guys? It's Admin1 back here with a new video. Then today I'm here with a new part of what if Naruto was banished and had dark release. So if you guys like the content in the channel recently, please subscribe to the channel. And while you're at it, also like this video. So without any delay, let's begin the video without my blammering. In the Akatsuki, chambers that were in the Hidden Rain, Pain, Conan, and Toby were having a meeting recently, as the main subject was that brat, Red Eye. As Toby was the one who spoke first. I have had forced experience when I battle with him. Do not send any Akatsuki member after him. I think I made myself clear about that. Toby said, looking at Nagato with a deadly look in his eyes. Even Nagato was a little intimidated by something like that. Even if he proclaimed himself as a god, Nagato deep down knew that if Toby turned on him, he and his six paths of pain would not be able to defeat him. Because Toby was still mysterious to both him and Konan, and they did not know the full capabilities of how far Toby could go. And Toby, on the other hand, knew everything that was there to the Renegade. Because, well, he was the one who taught Nagato how to use the Renegade properly in the first place. As Pain answered, I am really sorry about that. But we thought that Hidan and, I mean, Deidara and Sasori could handle them. I never thought that they would be taken care of so easily, said Pain as he was in disbelief. Even for him, taking care of Deidara and Sorcery would not have been that easy as it was for that red hair, or red eye. As Toby looked at him, I said what I said for a reason, Nagato. Don't forget your place. At the end of the day, I am the true leader of the Akatsuki. Remember that, said Toby. This time he was truly angry. It clearly made it clear that not to engage the Red Eye unless he himself or Pain were going after him, because he had firsthand had the experience of what had happened when facing the Red Eye. After all, he was the one who gave Naruto the scar over his eyes. But it was not something that Toby was proud of. If he would have been proud of it, if not for the exchange that he had to take for scarring Naruto over his eyes. And that was the boy at Son who he was behind that mask. Only Zetsu and Madara in the whole entire world knew who was behind the mask after Obito's supposed death. But in this case, Naruto had been added to that list, or that is what Toby was, well, thinking, or that is what he was presuming at least. Toby didn't completely get rid of the thought that boy would have not remembered, because the man that he fought that day was not Naruto completely. It was that dark side of Naruto. That side of Naruto was on a whole different league. He remembered three of Madara's lectures that were given to him. Flashback. Obito was laying in his bed as Madara was giving him some lectures about the shinobi world history. This one in particular interested Obito. The Uzumaki clan, Obito asked, as Madara looked at him. Yes, the first Uzukage was a monster. I must say that his dark lace really was something. He rivaled both me and Hashirama in power, and I would dare even say surpassed us. But the thing was, the man was a pacifist and did not like to fight, unlike me and Hashirama. And not to mention, the Uzumaki clan had already established their village before even the Hidden Leaf and the other five great nations, said Madara as Obito looked at him interested. Dark Release? What's that? Asked Obito. It's a bloodline of the Uzumaki that only appears once every 100 years, and even that is a rare case. The first Uzukage was the second user to awaken the dark release of all the people, and he was a monster with it, by combining his dark side with his own personality. He had become someone that was to be feared by even me and Hashirama in our prime, said Madra as Obito looked at him. That's interesting, Obito said. Because of Kushina, simply because, she was in Uzumaki, and he was interested to hear about it, because when he would get home, he would, brag about it to her. Obito shook his head at that flashback, as how things turn out to be, he thought in sarcasm, as he really did thought that he would go back to Kushina and tease her about it. Well, he did go back to Kushina, but to only to send her to her demise, and his sensei to kill him as well. Obita just didn't care. His only goal was to accomplish the infinite Tsukuyomi, no matter what. As Toby looked at Pain as he stood up. Our meeting is done. My goal was to only tell you not to go after those Maki unless I tell you to, said Obito as he started walking. Remember, Nagato, what I say is the good for the Akatsuki. I would never do something that would harm the organization and our goals, said Obito as Nagato nodded. As Conan was keeping a keen eye on Pain, who was clenching his fist in anger, as he didn't like to be told what to be done, but he had to listen. As Madra soon vanished in a swirling vortex, Pain sighed. That bastard, Pain said, as Conan looked at him. Don't worry about it. We'll find a way soon, she said. As Pain looked at her, we have been trying to find a way for over 10 years, Conan, but to no avail. How do you think will turn out now? We'll just be under his thumb because he's too powerful. I already tried to fight him once, and that already showed the difference in our power. That's just something that I don't want to risk. This man escaped death, and even if I like to call myself a god is also nothing compared to that man, said Pain as he started to walk away. He truly didn't feel like talking anymore. Whenever Madara would come to him, he just felt like to kill the man, but he couldn't. Even with his Rinnegan, he was powerless. To Naruto, who was now walking towards a cottage, out of which a steam was coming, as Naruto entered his room or his cottage to see a beautiful woman. She was about 5'4", and she had long brown hair and pink color eyes that would make any guys go crazy for her. She was that beautiful. A killer body that any guy would kill for. Hey honey, you're back, she said, as he came to Naruto and hugged him. Yeah, I'm back, he said with a smile as they broke the hug. So, how was your mission? She asked. It was alright, I guess, Naruto said as he settled down his things. Soon, dinner was served and Naruto asked his wife what was going on. Yumi, how has been things going on? He asked. Now, the wife of Naruto finally having a name, that would be Yumi. Well, things are fine, I guess. I am doing my ninja training and whatever, I guess, he said, not really having to tell him anything. Naruto just chuckled. That's, well, I guess that's fine. But, he said as he looked at her, I might have to go on a long mission. It's a long one, said Naruto, as Yumi looked sad. Naruto simply looked down. He had to leave her pretty frequently. She understood that it was his ninja duty and he was one of the most famous mercenaries in the world. And duty was just coming to him left and right. He had enough money to get a mansion because of how famous he was as a mercenary, but they lived in this cottage because he preferred it that way. And Naruto had no objection. Naruto looked at her. Don't worry, when I be back, this time I'll make sure that I'll stay for a long time, he said as he smiled at him. That's a promise, okay? Yes, he said. Naruto smiled. Yeah, it's a promise. And you know me, he said as he chuckled and giggled. Yeah, you never go back on your word. That's your ninja way, she said. Naruto smiled. You're damn right about that, he said as the next morning Naruto left his mission. While Naruto was leaving his mission, now what the mission was simple. Naruto had to guard the daimyo's daughter of the hidden grass. And this mission was quite dangerous because Naruto had been recently hearing that people were coming after the grass daimyo's daughter for some reason. And he even heard that Akatsuki would be there. And he was famous for hunting down Akatsuki. Even though they had already captured 5 tailed beasts, Naruto was still a way to counter them. Kumo didn't like him very much because of some circumstances that happened in the past, and Eva hated Naruto because of, well, who his father was. And there were the two countries that generally didn't like Naruto very much. But Naruto soon arrived at the daimyo's castle to see the little girl that was there. So, she's the one that I have to escort, thought Naruto as he looked at the girl. He had his mask on. As the girl looked at him, "Hey, are you Red Eyes?" she said, looking at him keenly. "Yo, that I am," said Naruto as he looked at her. She was rather small, even for her age, thought Naruto. But then he was no one to speak. He was quite tiny for his age as well when he was in the hidden leaf. But then he shook his head about getting rid of those thoughts. Soon the time came and they went on their when they went, Naruto went to escort the princess. When he did, Naruto noticed something. This, this feeling. He thought when he was sensing something. Recently, in the Hidden Rain Village, a few days before Naruto went on this mission, Nagato, we have got a mission. This is a high paying one. She said as he looked at Naruto. Nagato was in his chambers inside the machine. How much is it paying us? He asked. 500 million yen. Nagato's eyes widened. What? He said. Yes, and the mission is to assassinate the daimyo's daughter of the hidden grass, she said as Nagato looked at her and narrowed his eyes. Huh. So much for assassinating a little girl. But why? Asked Nagato as Conan looked at him. Apparently, the one who's gonna be guarding her is the Red Eye, she said as Nagato now understood. So that's why, he thought. Then, as Naruto called out to Zetsu. Zetsu, can you send a message to Toby that he needs to meet me immediately? Said Nagato as Zetsu nodded. And soon, after an hour or two, Toby appeared in the swirling vortex in front of Nagato. What is it, Nagato? Toby asked in his moderate voice. Well, I've got a pretty hefty mission. This one is a 500 million yen. If you're able to complete this mission, many of our goals can be achieved, said Nagato as Toby looked at him. What you mean to say is if you complete this mission, you'll have enough funds to sustain the hidden rain for a long time. Is that right? Said Toby looking at Nagato by narrowing his eyes. Nagato knew that he had been busted. Yes, said Nagato. Toby sighed. Fine, but why did you have to call me here? It's not like you have to ask for to go on a mission for my permission, said Toby as he looked at Nagato, a little curious, but Nagato could not tell since he had a mask on. Well, said Nagato as he looked at Toby, the red eye's gonna be there. Toby's eyes widened a little bit. What? He said. Then it's obvious what's my answer gonna be. No, said Toby immediately. His Nagato narrowed his eyes. Why are you so afraid of him? You said that you were the one who scarred him over with his eyes. Said Nagato as Toby looked at him. That is true, but it was a mutual blow. He did harm me quite a bit as well. Nagato, if you go there, you'll die, said Toby as he looked at Nagato. Tch, don't underestimate me. You're not a god, said Toby before Nagato could complete his sentence. Why you? Thought Nagato in his mind. But then he was silent when Toby released his killing intent at him. I would like to make myself clear. If you do go to that mission and decide to disobey me, know the consequences, Nagato. You will be dead before you if you face against that boy. You're not ready, said Toby as Nagato looked at him. What do you mean? You and your 6 paths of pain cannot match that boy has if he is right now. What you need is your original body, said Toby as he looked at him. You're saying, yes, I will not stop you to go to the mission. Zetsu, said Toby as Zetsu came out of the ground. Make sure that Nagato is completely healed and his legs are in good condition to at least go for a one battle, said Toby as Zetsu nodded. As you wish, Madara, said Zetsu as another spiral Zetsu came out of the ground. And soon, Nagato was standing in front of Kaonan. Today was the day that they were gonna go on that mission. Nagato, she thought as look at him. Naruto was now healthy. Now he didn't have his bones out and he was not skinny as much. He could walk again because of this strange white substance being attached. Toby said that was a special Zetsu that acted as a body armor. And Naruto didn't complain. To complete this mission and be able to sustain his country for a long time, you would do it. And also capture the Nine Tails Jinchuriki. He would not miss this chance. As Nagato went off to leave to search for the girl, well, he didn't have to do that much since, well, Zetsu had already given him the location of the girl and where she would be, along with her supposed protector, the Red Eye. As Nagato went, this would be quick, he thought. With this much power going through his veins, he doubted that that boy would be any match for him. Soon, Naruto's point of view, or from Naruto's point of view, don't take it like that way that I am Naruto or something like that. I'm just gonna be speaking from Naruto's point of view, but in a third person point of view, if that makes any sense. Naruto was just walking with the girl as nothing happened to him until he sensed something. This, he thought, as he grabbed the girl and jumped away as few missiles landed right where he was. Soon, Naruto came out of the ground like a ghost, with a black aura surrounding him. What in the world? He thought as he looked above to see more missiles coming at him. Naruto just, well, smiled. These fools, he thought. Then he unsheathed his sword and covered it in a black aura. As Naruto swung his blade, and the missiles were sliced in half as they exploded. And they exploded didn't harm Naruto because he was already at a different location. The girl in his arm looked shocked and scared at the same time. Naruto looked at the guards. Take her, he said as he handed her to her. I guess that the rumors that Akatsuki would be after this girl were true after all, he said as he was now one of the main factors of Jiraiya's spy network. He was the one who handled most of it, even more than Jiraiya in these days. That's why he knew that this would be probably the most probable outcome that would be. As he looked up to see a red-haired man, his Akatsuki cloak very much visible, and what surprised Naruto, Rinnegan, he thought, looking at the man's eye. I guess the sources that said that the leader of this organization, the Rinnegan, were true. He said, looking at Nagato. You, Naruto said as he looked up at Nagato. Who are you? By that cloak, I can say that you are Nakatsuki, said Naruto as he looked at Nagato, who simply didn't say anything. He just stretched his hand out. Universal pull, said Nagato as Naruto was pulled towards him. What the? Naruto thought. As then, he went through hand signs, and in a black mist, he vanished, appearing a distance away. This guy, thought Naruto as he looked at Nagato, is dangerous, he thought. Then Nagato noticed something. Teleportation. No, that's not what happened, he thought as he looked at Naruto. But he... Naruto was slowly starting to figure out why this boy was dangerous. That ability that the boy used thus right now was dangerous in itself. After all, this ability was similar to the yellow flashes. As Naruto looked at him and picked up his sword. Who are you? I'll ask again, said Naruto, as he didn't like to be annoyed. Doesn't matter. You're gonna be dead after all, said Nagato, as Naruto looked at him and sighed. Well, that's how you want it, said Naruto, as he stretched out his left hand.
Rasengan.
Said Naruto, as a huge black ball of Rasengan formed. Yes, it's a black ball instead of blue color. As Nagato's eyes widened, this much power, he thought. But then he remembered he could absorb chakra, so he stretched out his hand and started absorbing Naruto's Rasengan. And after he was done, he noticed the boy was gone. Where did he went? I can't feel him, he thought as he tried to set Naruto's location, but he couldn't. Soon Nagato realized, behind me, he thought as Naruto was coming out of the ground like a ghost, similar to Toby. But then again, the difference was Naruto was coming out of like a black portal that was in the ground, as Naruto swung his blade towards Nagato's head, as before Naruto's blade could make contact. Another arm appeared in Nagato's neck and grabbed the blade, as Naruto narrowed his eyes. What in the... he thought as he looked at Nagato. As in a black mist, Naruto vanished again, as he appeared a distance away. I have to figure out his abilities before I do anything, Naruto said as he stood up. Soon, he stabbed the sword on the ground, and then a dark aura started surrounding the entire ground. As the range was going up to kilometers, the girl who was a distance away, the Daimyo's daughter, saw the black mist stop right where she was, as her guards kept running away. As she saw the dark mist also following them and stop at a distance, as she was praying that nothing happened to him. He looked like a decent guy, so she didn't want anything to happen to him. God, please make sure that Big Brother Red Eye is okay, she thought in her mind, as she was praying to Kami that he would be fine. But unknowns to her, Naruto would not only be fine, but today would be the day that Nagato would meet his end. As Naruto was now smirking, Let's see how you deal with this. He said as black, those black mist or on the chakra that surrounded the entire area was now started to act wild. Let's see how strong Rinnegan truly is. Now, Naruto said, as many Naruto appeared out of the black, uh, out of the black, what is that called again? Mist. As they all four brought their hand forward, and in a single nice voice, they all said the same word.
Rasengan.
A huge explosion went off in the distance, since it was 100 Naruto that did that at the same time, and the Rasengan were not a normal size. They all were huge. As a distance, as the entire area went on a huge explosion. After all the Rasengans made collided with each other and the huge explosion occurred. In a distance, Naruto was watching the entire scene, appearing out a dark portal as he smirked. Let's see how powerful the Rinnegan is. He thought after all of that, even the likes of the Rinnegan should not be able to survive that. But then he heard a voice. Almighty push. Naruto said as all the Rasengans were blown off him. As Naruto simply smirked. It's not gonna be that easy. I'm sure that this would have worked on many other people, but on me, said Nagato. As he went through hand signs, summoning jutsu, he said, as in a 5 poof of smoke, 5 creatures appeared. Fuck me, thought Naruto, as he looked at the 5 creatures and bit his thumb, summoning jutsu. Said Naruto, as in a 2 puff of smokes, 2 creatures appeared. Gamabunta and a bat, a huge one at that one. You summoned us both this time, Naruto, said Gamabunta as he looked at the bat. Doesn't matter to me either way, said the bat as he looked at Gamabunta. So I take it those brats or those creatures are our target, said Gamabunta as he unseated his katana. You're right, said Naruto as he looked at Gamabunta. Take care of them, will ya? Said Naruto. It'll be tough, even for me. Why don't we summon more? Said Gamabunta. Naruto nodded, as he summoned Gamaken and Gamahiro as well, and they all went to the action. Naruto then looked at Nagato. Now that's done, said Naruto as he looked at Nagato. It's just you and me, buddy, said Naruto, as the sword was now covered in a dark aura. I'll show you why your true leader was so shaken up when I went with a battle with him and saw who he truly was, said Naruto as Nagato narrowed his eyes. You saw who he truly was, thought Nagato, as he brought his hand forward. Universal pull, he said as he tried to attract Naruto, but he was surprised that it didn't work. What? He thought. To cancel out your power, what happens when 2 people pull each other towards them? It's obvious, it cancels it out. I can pull you towards me and you can do the same. What? Thought Nagato, and after hearing Naruto's explanation, Dark release grants me the power of a black hole. Gravitation. It's rather interesting, don't you think? He said as he looked at Nagato. I'll show you truly what my power can do. He said as he went, and in a flash, Naruto was behind Nagato, who in the nick of time ducked under the slice that went over his head and tried to kick Naruto, but the boy grabbed his leg and picked Nagato up and slammed into the ground, and then went to bury his sword into the boy's skull. But Nagato, in a nick of time, spoke those 5 words: Almighty push. He said as Naruto was blown away. Naruto, with the help of his sword that he buried into the ground, was able to gain his momentum. As he looked at Naruto, that ability is annoying, he thought. And he has to figure the way out around that ability. As he again took out his sword out of the ground. As Naruto then went through Handshines. Let's see how well he deals with this one. Black fire surrounded Naruto's hand, and then he grabbed his sword. And then his sword was covered with black fire. Let's see how well he does. He thought as Naruto vanished in a burst of speed. Nagato, only because of Rinnegan, was able to follow it. And then the battle began. Naruto noticed something. Whenever Nagato would use this almighty push ability, it looked like he could not use it for the next 5 seconds. That was the main thing that he was looking forward to. And as for the summonings, most of them were dealt with. Only the three-headed dog was causing them a little bit of trouble. But but the three summonings, or the 4 summonings, including the bat, was able to hold him off. But then Nagato, but then Naruto came from above to slice Nagato in half, but then Nagato smirked again. Almighty push. He said, trying to blow Naruto away, but instead, it's a shadow clone. Naruto thought, as the man that he blew away was disappeared in a black smoke, as he felt a presence behind him. Checkmate, said Naruto, as in a field swoop, he buried his sword into Nagato's chest. In a distance, Conan was watching the entire fight. It looked like Nagato had the upper hand, but when she saw her friend's chest was stabbed right through, she could not control herself. As he went to assist Nagato as quickly as possible, but it was already too late, as Naruto simply smirked. Goodbye, he said as a dark aura surrounded Naruto's sword. It's over,
Darkly's corrosion.
said Naruto, as the same thing started happening to Nagato that it did to Deidara. His veins started popping out, and not only that, his veins started turning black. As Nagato fell to the ground, his foam coming out of his mouth and his eyes rolled back, as the power of the Rinnegan was taken away from him. How? Because the Dark Police had an ability to steal whatever opponents, or to get rid of opponents' Keke Genkai, or whatever strange power they had. It would just simply erase it, it would not absorb it. Dark Release was the scariest thing for that. Even if anyone did try to get the Rinnegan after this, they would not succeed, as Conan was now angry. She went towards Naruto in a fit of rage, but then noticed the boy was gone. Where did he? Behind you, she heard a voice. So that's his ability, she thought, as she was unable to stop it, as the sword now was going through her stomach, as she coughed out blood. Bastard, she said as Naruto looked at her, his red eyes still staring back at her. Huh, I wouldn't be so sure about that, Angel of the Hidden Rain. This Rinnegan fellow might be a little, what can you say, mysterious, but you're not. You had appeared in the Hidden Rain many times, so it was easy to track you, said Naruto, as Conan looked at him. Wait, how did you defeat him so easily? Naruto was stronger than ever, she said as Naruto smirked. The answer to that is pretty simple. Because I was stronger than him, said Naruto as he pulled out his katana out of her. And then Konan her eyes started to roll back her head, and she also dropped down, dead. I do not like to use corrosion abilities on girls, so hopefully you don't take it as sexist, said the Naruto as the entire dark, misty aura that was around the entire area started coming back to him. Now that he is done, I'm sure that Obito will be mad. He thought as he thought of that day. Flashback. It was a normal day for Naruto, as he was going through the hidden cloud because, well, he was hired here for doing a mission. And this mission was a joint mission with the Two Tails Jinchuriki, Yugito, as well. She was rather cocky, but then a strolling vortex appeared as a man stepped out of it. Huh. To think I would be so lucky you step out of your village, Two Tails, said Toby as he looked at her. In his Madara voice this time, not in the regular Toby voice that we're used to, as Naruto stepped in front of her. Who are you? He asked. Toby looked at him. You don't need to worry about that. And look at my luck. Two Jinchurikis at once. He said, looking at Naruto. Now that, I guess this is a jackpot. I can just not let this go now, can I? Said Toby as he vanished. Soon he was in front of Yugito. You're the first one that I'm gonna be taking out, he said. Naruto on the other end was surprised. His speed. I didn't didn't even see him, he thought, as he looked at the man that was now in front of Yugito. Yugito's eyes turned to the Sharingan, as then she collapsed. Once she wakes up, she's completely gonna be under my control, thought Toby as then he looked at Naruto. I didn't have the chance to steal the fox away from you, or Konoha in that matter, 16 years ago, but this time, Toby thus said, 16 years ago, you, said Naruto as he looked at Toby. Don't tell me you, said as Toby looked at him. You're still finally figuring it out. Not that it matters, said Toby, and started running towards Naruto. Naruto barely blocked a punch that was aimed right towards his head, as then he started to twist Toby away by, well, grabbing his katana and trying to slice him in half, but the sword did went to Toby, or through Toby, but not in a way that he wanted to. It actually phased right through him. What the? Thought Naruto, as he looked at the sword that was now going right through the man, but not in the way that he wanted. Shit, this is bad, thought Naruto, as then he surrounded his sword in a dark aura. Oh, thought Toby, as he started to back away a little. That dark aura, don't tell me, thought Toby as he looked at Naruto. I have to take this boy much seriously if that's the case, he thought in his mind. But then, when Toby did become serious, at this point, Naruto was not that strong. So Toby was, well, too strong for him to handle. By using wood release with a combination of Kamui, well, Toby was able to easily defeat Naruto, who was now lying face down first, with his hand now simply with his wrist broken as he looked up at Toby. Pathetic, said Toby. You have dark lilies and yet so weak. Shuts away their potential, said Toby as he raised Naruto's katana that he had recently just snatched away from the boy. This will be over soon, he said as he dropped the katana, but the boy had vanished. What the? He thought, but then he sensed it. This dark, ominous presence over the area. What's this? Thought Toby as he was feeling it. Sora, don't tell me, he said as when he turned back, he saw the boy. This time, his hair color had changed from blonde to black, and his eyes had turned red. This is not good, thought Toby as he remembered Madara's word that first Ozikage was equal to me in strength. If what he said is really the truth, then Toby had to be really careful now. As then the boy got up as the dark aura had left him, the boy was now standing. As in a flash, the boy raised his hand up and called out,
Rasengan.
and a huge black ball of Rasengan was formed. That even surprised Toby by the speed that it was formed. It even surpassed Minato's speed of forming the Rasengan. And the fact that it was so huge did not play for anything. It was as huge as a Biju download, for God's sake. Toby luckily managed to teleport himself before the Rasengan exploded. As the man then retracted his arm. That was Naruto, or the dark version of him. As Toby appeared out of the ground like a ghost. So, I guess it was true when Madara said that you are very strong, even stronger than what he had been in his prime. No wonder Kakuzu didn't stand a chance against you, and I had to come here, said Toby, as well. Naruto just looked at him, as he said,
You will know soon why that Green Eye didn't stand a chance.
Naruto says, as soon as he said that, he immediately turned back and formed another huge Rasengan. And luckily, Toby managed to move out of the way, but Naruto then sensed it.
In the right.
He thought, as he performed the Rasengan in the right direction, as Toby was, well, just trying to not get hit by one of those huge ass Rasengans. This is not good, thought Toby as he was now in his calm weak dimension. This is definitely not good, but I have to get the two tails, thought Toby as then he came out of his dimension and then grabbed Yugito. And as soon as Naruto sensed that, he formed the Rasengan towards Toby, but Toby, who saw that this boy was trying to protect, had two tails, just started speaking. Well, it wouldn't be fair now, would it? Your mission was to protect this girl after all, since, so many Jinchurikis have been disappearing. This was your mission. You wouldn't want to kill this girl now, would you? Said Toby as Naruto just stayed silent.
I wouldn't be so sure about that.
Thought Naruto in his mindscape as Toby started vanishing into the ground.
Don't go so soon. Why are you in such a hurry? Rasen. Dawn.
Said Naruto as he compressed the Rasengan down to his two fingers and shot it like a bullet. And when Toby saw the Rasengan coming towards him, it was already too late. It pierced his shoulder as in a flash. Naruto was in front of Toby and kicked him right in the face as with so much force by compressing most of his chakra right down to his leg. He broke Toby's mask in half as he sent Toby flying. And when he did, he was grabbing Yugito,
Now that this is done,
thought Naruto, as he looked at Yugito.
I should take her back to the cloud.
He thought. But then he sensed it. His heart. It was an unimaginable pain.
Tell me, why is he waking up right now?
thought Naruto as he could see that the original Naruto was waking up.
Not in this time. I can still sense that bastard. He's not gone.
Thought Naruto, his sensory abilities were now extremely hindered. For a split few seconds, he had completely blanked out. But then, when he came back to senses, Obito was right in front of him, with two shurikens right in his hand. As Naruto moved out in nick of a time, just to not get slashed. But in the chest, he did got slashed right over his eye, and there he got his iconic scar. As the Dark Naruto simply erased his hand again.
Get lost.
He said as he formed a huge Rasengan, and Toby got lost very quickly as Naruto then grabbed his eye as he had let go of Yugito, but in meantime Toby came back and swirled Yugito away in a swirling vortex without Naruto even noticing because he was in that bad of a condition because he was fighting to keep control. Soon, and that's pretty much gonna be the for this video, you guys. And as I said, this series is not gonna last more than the 6 chapters. This series is probably gonna finish in chapter or part 4 at max. So yeah, hopefully you guys are enjoying the story up till now. So yeah, if you guys did enjoy the story, please subscribe to the channel and like this video. So yeah, hopefully you guys will keep on showing the support that you've been recently showing. And yeah, peace out guys. See you in the next one. Peace.